pressure, there's a lot of poke, and you already have that big utility ultimate to help you out up against this kind of composition. I think it's worth it. It's really worth it. And we'll have to see if RRQ actually go for that ban, reading it out, or perhaps they might just let it loose. Todak, again, when you don't expect them to play these kind of things, they pick it up, they take the game.
I think that's also what, a lot of people wanted to see coming out from Todak. The unpredictable plays, the things that you don't see coming. So far though, they're going to take out the Sicilian on the side of RRQ, as well as the Deroth, which did cause a lot of trouble for Formays in that EXP lane.
Yep, and at the same time as well, Todak, they can opt to have a little bit more options, especially for Moon. Lilia seems to be a pretty decent option to deal with the Eve. Kadita Johnson is something that Falcon Esports does bring a lot. I don't think Todak would do it, but they can take the opportunity to do it, especially with Kadita as of yet, which is a great way to disengage from all these fights. Despite the heavy spin, despite the fatal link, it makes a lot of sense. But as of yet, I feel like Todak's composition is in a situation where they need to play more Purifies rather than the traditional sprint off linkers.
And also, point to note, Miracle, they didn't ban the Diggy out, so it still potentially could be a mid-pick if they wanted to. Lilia is also open. What do you think are the potential options here?
At this point, yeah, Lilia can work, but it's more like saving yourself, right? You bring the Purify, you have that black shoes, you get out, but your teammates, not so much. Especially if Yums just accidentally hooks that Atlas. They go for the safer pick first, though, because if they do want to go for Diggy, I think that's the right route, right? Save it for the last pick. Just make it a hero that comes out of nowhere. Julian first, definitely more prio. We know that RRQ can pick it. It still can go to the XP lane technically, so there you go.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised. I just completely ignored the Julian throughout the entire draft, and even though it was let off as S-tier pickup, it actually made it to its second phase of ban. So this is something that Moon is going to be able to play really, really well. But when it comes to execution, it's going to be a little bit different. But what I do like is the amount of chain CCs that you can follow up with the Franco hook is going to help isolate fights very, very cleanly.
That's true. I mean, you couple that with Falling Star Moon as well as the enhanced chains, but I don't think Moon is going to bring this into the mid lane. On the other hand, or RRQ going for the Irithel as well as Benedetta. We saw Irithel, but it was in the hands of Lemon. This time it's in the hands of Skylar.
Now, I've got a very, very interesting question.
Yeah, I think we have the same question.
Is this a Benedetta jungle or is it an Akai jungle? Because I think it should be a Benedetta jungle.
I mean, knowing Albert, he likes these flashy heroes. We've seen him on the Lancelot. I think it's most probably going to the jungle, but it could go to the XP as well. We all know R7. He likes those flashy heroes. Joe Benedetta here fits his playstyle as well. He likes to go in, cut the waves, and just buy a lot of time with that mobility that she has. Todak, last pick. This is where it can come through. They don't go for the Diggy in the mid lane.
Wow.
It's actually Julian in mid, Helkert in the jungle. So, again, a risky trap for Todak. I like it.
I love it. I love it. Like, they take advantage of the Darkness 4 and go for pickoffs. And if you get the pickoff, there's no way RQ is going to be able to respond in time. And, well, it's all about rock, paper, scissors now. Who gets the first engagement and who's going to come on top? And this is going to be game 3, Todak's adaptation, and I'm looking forward to see how it goes.
This is the unpredictability that we wanted to see come out of Todak Malaysia. Here we look, ladies and gentlemen, last look at these two drafts between RRQ Hoshi and Todak. The two lineups, team compositions, the crazy picks here by these two teams, and we are going right into the land of dawn.
Well, here you go. Todak, my tech, let's go. It's time for game number 3. Make it or break it. It's time for Todak to show the world that they are still in this. RRQ need one more to wrap it up. Both of these teams, again, classic normal starts to their jungle patterns, both starting the purple buff.
Well, bringing up to the question of whether or not is this a jungle Akai, yes, it is going to be the jungle Akai, whereas Benedetta's matchup is going to be with the Esperoda, but Yums now being a little bit aggressive down mid. Seems like they are going to be prioritizing on Moon's comfort as of yet.
Yeah, I mean, it's scary though. That Momo is on the Hellcrit this time, so yes, ooh, in the meantime, Yums lands a hook onto Albert. I mean, nothing so special as of yet. No damage gonna come out. They're still just brawling out for the river space.
Yeah, again, we've seen a lot of these glimpses, right, from Todak, these shimmering lights for them, where they are actually able to cover up for Momo's retribution by just zoning RRQ members away. They did it in the second game just now for the Little Wonder. They did it here again. They need to just stay consistent with that. Try to do that more, as that's top side R7 winning out in the trade against an Esmeralda.
Yeah, he was able to rotate down mid to actually pull back up Todak, knowing that they do have the tendency to actually go in for the crash. But the bigger question now is that, is Todak taking advantage on Moon's level 3? He's got his triple wombo combo. He's looking for those setups, and if they get it, RRQ Hoshi is gonna fall a lot very, very quickly. However, he's all by himself.
They recognize that and they're going onto him instead, burning the flicker for Moon. So even though Todak, they have the potential to set up these kills, it's gonna be RRQ instead that pulls the trigger first.
And it's all about the timing, right? When we're talking about RRQ, again, flashback to game 2 and game number 1. Setup has been key for all their plays. For Maze though, again, they lose out on the mid lane, but they push in that top side, getting that pressure into that turtle side. But again, they need to force this mid lane push, because if not, it's going to be really tough for Todak to convert on this turtle. Remember, that retribution battle, Momo hasn't won a single one so far.
Yeah, this is very, very risky coming from Todak. You can see that Todak is hesitant to challenge the turtle, considering that Yubes is so far away from that forehand. They need to fight right now.
Yeah, they're trying to, and the hook lands onto Albert, but that just lets him unleash the heavy spin onto Todak here, and it's gonna be Albert that pulls off the retribution war this time. RRQ, they try to press onto Todak in the mid lane here. Are they gonna get the kill? The knockup comes up onto Moon, and the flicker in by Vin as well as the fatal links, but the counter engage from Muse pulls Albert into the tower, and Todak, they lose Moon in that fight.
That's what you hate to see, man. If you're a Todak fan, right, you expect the hooks, but it's kind of assisting Albert in a way. Unlucky, honestly, there. Albert picks up the first blood. They also pick up that turtle. Again, so on point on that retribution, the timing as well as to when to actually initiate.
Yeah, that was just so unfortunate, right? The hook actually, like you said as well, helped Albert. And on top of it all, he had the turtle buff, which gave him the additional shield to soak that one tick from the tower. And because of that, they were able to come up on top. But still, it's not an end of the road yet. It's only 1 kills, but economy-wise, they're still 50-50 from both sides.
Comes down to XP though, right? It really does come down to XP. Remember, game number 2 as well. RRQ, they had a 5,000 gold lead, but the XP was just a big difference there. 3 levels ahead, 4 levels ahead sometimes, even Albert, compared to Momo in game number 2. RRQ, they build on that gold lead, but they can surely just take that XP lead. Yums getting caught out here. Hurricane dance, heavy spin there, onto Yums, trying to bait him out, trying to use that, as that's going to be the chain coming in. Yums has nowhere to go. Another kill for the Panda Man, Albert.
Yeah, that was huge coming in from RRQ. They chased them all down, but it was so very difficult to do this, to actually set up a fight. But nope, hold that thought for now.
Jiku gets the fatal links put onto him and immediately just gets taken out of this fight. Todak, they're having a really hard time now in this early game despite the Hellcurt pick.
I just get thrown off, you know. Sometimes I...
Dengan promo lainnya. Yuk langganan